Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by asking you a question. What if you acted like everything in your life, yes, everything, was working in your favor? Imagine for a moment how different your outlook would be if you treated every challenge, every detour, and even every mistake as a hidden blessing. Now let's get one thing clear. Acting like everything is working in your favor doesn't mean ignoring reality or denying the struggles we all face. No, it's about adopting a mindset that transforms those struggles into stepping stones. Here's the first principle. Perception shapes reality. Life doesn't always serve us what we want on a silver platter. Sometimes it serves us lessons in disguise. But how you choose to see those lessons determines your future. If you believe that life is conspiring to help you grow, you'll approach challenges not with fear, but with curiosity. Instead of asking, why me, you'll ask, what can I learn from this? That simple shift can open doors you never knew existed. The second principle is this: every adversity carries an opportunity. Think about it. Most of the world's great inventions were born out of necessity, out of problems that demanded solutions. So when you face difficulties, ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me? What skill, what insight, what breakthrough is hidden here? Acting like life is working in your favor isn't just optimism. It's preparation for growth. And that brings me to the third principle. Positive expectation drives action. When you believe the universe is on your side, you take bold steps. You act with confidence because you're not bogged down by doubts or fears. And here's the kicker. People are drawn to confidence. Opportunities, relationships, and even luck tend to gravitate toward those who act like they belong in the winner's circle. But let's not forget the importance of resilience, our fourth principle. Belief in favor builds emotional strength. Life will test you. That's guaranteed. But when you carry the mindset that every setback is temporary, that every obstacle is a part of your journey, you become unstoppable. Like a muscle that grows stronger with resistance, your character is built through challenge. Finally, there's the fifth and perhaps most powerful principle. Gratitude amplifies favor. When you focus on what you already have, when you appreciate the lessons you've learned, the people who've helped you, and the progress you've made, you naturally attract more to be thankful for. Gratitude is like a magnet for abundance. So here's my challenge to you. Starting today, act like everything is working in your favor. When life throws you a curveball, smile and say, thank you, life. I'll figure out why you sent this my way. Because the truth is, with the right mindset, everything can work in your favor. Remember this, my friends. Success isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. And the person who believes life is on their side is the person who succeeds. Thank you. Perception shapes reality. This simple yet powerful truth lies at the heart of how we navigate the world. It might sound too straightforward to be profound, but it's one of the most profound shifts you can make in your life. Our perception, the way we interpret and understand the events around us, directly influences how we experience those events. You see, what happens to us isn't always the determining factor in our happiness, success, or fulfillment. It's how we interpret what happens that matters. Imagine two people facing the same situation. One might view it as a challenge, while the other sees it as an insurmountable obstacle. The difference isn't in the situation itself, but in how each person perceives it. One will take action, looking for solutions and seeing opportunities within the problem. The other might feel defeated, unable to move forward because their perception has locked them in a box. It's not the situation that defines their success or failure. It's the way they choose to see it. Now let's dive into this deeper. Life is full of events that we have little or no control over. We can't always predict what will happen to us tomorrow, let alone next year. But the one thing we can control, always, is how we choose to respond to life's unpredictable twists and turns. You can choose to perceive a challenge as a setback, or you can perceive it as an opportunity for growth. The same event can lead to entirely different outcomes depending on your mindset. Take, for example, the story of Thomas Edison. When his factory burned down in 1914, he stood in the ashes of his life's work, a devastated man by the looks of it. But he didn't succumb to despair. Instead, he said, "Although I am very sorry for the people who have suffered, I can now begin again." Edison, with his incredible ability to shape his perception, saw the fire not as a catastrophic failure, but as an opportunity to start over. He believed that every setback was simply a stepping stone to success. He went on to rebuild his factory, and shortly after, he produced some of his most remarkable inventions. Edison's mindset didn't see disaster. It saw opportunity. His perception shaped the reality of his life. In our own lives, we all experience what can seem like failures. It's important to remember that failure is not a permanent state. It is, as many great thinkers have said, a lesson waiting to be learned. Consider the story of Michael Jordan. He was cut from his high school basketball team, a fact that he often mentions as one of his greatest motivators. Most would have perceived that moment as the end of his basketball dreams, but Michael saw it differently. He didn't let a single moment of failure define him. Instead, he used it to fuel his future success. His perception of that failure was that it was just a small bump in the road, a moment of growth, not a permanent obstacle. When you start to realize that perception shapes reality, you begin to see life in a new light. Challenges become opportunities. Failures turn into lessons, and setbacks transform into stepping stones. It's a shift that can change everything for you. This shift in perception is not just about thinking positively. It's about reframing your experiences and changing the narrative you tell yourself about them. Let's say you're facing a financial setback. Your bank account might be in the red, and it seems like you're sinking. But what if you chose to see this not as a failure, but as a chance to learn about budgeting, saving, or new ways of generating income? What if you saw it as an opportunity to make smarter decisions moving forward, to grow in ways you wouldn't have without that struggle? Instead of feeling helpless, you'd feel empowered, ready to take action, learn, and rebuild. Your perception would shift from defeat to possibility. The same applies to relationships, work challenges, and even personal goals. Maybe you didn't get the promotion you worked hard for, or maybe your personal relationship hit a rough patch. Instead of seeing these moments as proof of your inadequacy or failure, what if you viewed them as stepping stones? These experiences are often the building blocks that help us grow and become better, stronger individuals. When you start seeing the world through the lens of opportunity, you begin to notice all the chances for growth that exist in everyday moments. The people around you, the obstacles you face, and even the failures you experience are all shaping you into the person you are meant to be. And when you recognize this, when you understand that your perception is creating your reality, you unlock a whole new level of potential. So what does this mean for you today? How can you start changing your perception to shape a reality that works in your favor? It starts with being aware. Notice when your mind gravitates toward negativity. Recognize those thoughts and ask yourself, how can I see this differently? Challenge yourself to look for the lesson in every situation. Ask yourself, what can I learn here? Even in the toughest circumstances, there is always something to learn, always something that can make you stronger and wiser. Remember, your mind is powerful. What you focus on expands. If you constantly focus on the obstacles, they will appear bigger and more insurmountable. But if you focus on the opportunities hidden within those obstacles, your mind will find the solutions and the strength to move forward. When you start perceiving everything in your life as working in your favor, the reality you create becomes a reality of abundance, growth, and opportunity. Your perception shapes the world you live in. And when you control your perception, you can control your success. Every adversity carries an opportunity. This simple yet powerful concept is the cornerstone of resilience and success. While challenges are an inevitable part of life, what truly sets successful individuals apart is their ability to recognize the opportunity hidden within every difficulty. Life doesn't always unfold the way we expect. Things go wrong, plans fall apart, and sometimes it feels like the universe is throwing obstacles in our path just to test us. But what if, instead of viewing these obstacles as setbacks, we saw them as openings for growth and new possibilities? New possibilities. Imagine for a moment that you are faced with a significant problem in your life, one that seems insurmountable at first. Maybe it's a career setback, a financial struggle, or a personal disappointment. In the heat of the moment, it's natural to feel overwhelmed. The challenge may seem so large that it feels like it's standing between you and your success. But if you step back and adopt a different perspective, you might start to notice something remarkable. Inside that adversity is a lesson or an opportunity waiting to be uncovered. Take, for example, the story of Steve Jobs. When he was fired from Apple, the company he had co-founded, it seemed like the end of his career. It would have been easy for him to fall into despair, to accept this as a personal failure, or to give up on his vision. But Steve Jobs didn't see this as a defeat. Instead, he viewed it as an opportunity to reinvent himself. He founded Next and acquired Pixar, both ventures that would not only help him grow as an entrepreneur, but also set the stage for his eventual return to Apple. When he was brought back to Apple, he used the lessons and experiences he gained from his time away to lead the company into one of the most successful periods of innovation in its history. That firing, which seemed like a devastating blow, turned out to be one of the best things that ever happened to him, because it opened new doors and provided him with invaluable experience. This idea of finding opportunity within adversity is something that can apply to all of us. Think about any challenge or hardship you've faced in your life. At first, it might have felt like the end of the road, a situation that could never be overcome. But looking back, didn't you learn something valuable from it? Maybe it was a new skill, a shift in perspective, or even a deeper understanding of yourself. Perhaps it led you to a new path that you never would have considered otherwise. That's the beauty of adversity. It often forces us out of our comfort zones, and in doing so, it opens our eyes to new opportunities we would have missed if everything had gone according to plan. The key to finding opportunity in adversity lies in our ability to reframe the situation. When faced with a challenge, our first instinct is often to resist it, to fight against the difficulty, and to wish for it to go away. But instead of resisting, we can learn to lean into adversity, asking ourselves, what is this teaching me? By shifting our mindset, we begin to see the potential that lies beneath the surface. We start to view setbacks not as barriers, but as stepping stones to something greater. For instance, think about the times when you've faced rejection. Whether it's a job you didn't get, a relationship that ended, or an idea that didn't take off. Rejection can sting, but it also holds within it the seed of growth. A rejection doesn't mean you're not good enough. It simply means that something better is waiting for you, or that you need to refine your strengths or approach. Rejection is an opportunity to evaluate your strengths, to build resilience, and to pivot when necessary. It's a powerful reminder that success is often built on a series of small failures and setbacks. This principle extends beyond personal experiences. Look at history and the stories of many successful people. Colonel Sanders, for example, faced countless rejections before his Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe was finally accepted by a restaurant. His first attempts were met with failure after failure, but he didn't give up. Instead, he saw each rejection as an opportunity to improve and refine his approach. His persistence paid off, and his recipe became one of the most successful business ventures in history. The lesson here is that adversity often fuels innovation and creativity. When things don't go as planned, we are forced to think outside the box and find new solutions. The same principle applies in business. Companies often face difficult situations, whether it's competition, market changes, or unforeseen challenges. But those challenges can lead to breakthroughs. When the internet boom occurred, many traditional businesses saw it as a threat, but others embraced it as an opportunity. Amazon, for example, began as an online bookstore. But Jeff Bezos recognized the opportunity to expand the concept to other products and services, revolutionizing retail in the process. Similarly, the rise of social media presented challenges to traditional advertising models, but it also opened up a world of possibilities for new forms of marketing. Those who were able to recognize opportunity and adversity became pioneers in their industries. When we adopt this mindset, believing that adversity carries opportunity, we change how we approach every challenge we face. Instead of dreading difficulties, we can begin to welcome them, knowing that they have the potential to help us grow. The more we practice this way of thinking, the more adept we become at finding solutions in the face of obstacles. Adversity may be uncomfortable, but it is also the perfect environment for personal and professional growth. It stretches us, challenges us, and encourages us to become more resourceful, creative, and determined. The best opportunities in life often come disguised as problems. It's not always easy to see the potential right away, but once you train yourself to look for it, you'll find that every setback has the potential to lead to something greater. So the next time you face a challenge, remember, adversity isn't a sign of failure. It's simply life presenting you with an opportunity for growth, learning, and transformation. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it guide you to new and unexpected opportunities. Positive expectation drives action. This simple yet profound statement holds the key to unlocking an incredible amount of potential within each of us. The way we expect things to unfold plays a critical role in how we approach every task, every challenge, and every opportunity that comes our way. Positive expectation isn't just about being optimistic for the sake of it. It's a mindset that aligns our actions with our goals and aligns us with the energy and momentum needed to achieve them. When you expect good things to happen, your behavior changes. You approach your goals with confidence, enthusiasm, and energy. You become more proactive, more willing to take risks, and more resilient when things don't go as planned. On the other hand, when you expect failure, you tend to hold back, make fewer attempts, or even give up before you've given yourself a fair chance. The expectation you hold shapes the actions you take, and those actions in turn shape the results you get. Let's break this down further. Think about the times when you've achieved success, no matter how big or small. Chances are those moments weren't just the result of your efforts alone. You were probably also driven by a positive expectation that the effort you put in would pay off. When you start a project, a business, or a personal goal with the expectation that it will succeed, you're more likely to take the necessary actions to make that happen. You don't second guess yourself at every turn, or constantly wonder if things will work out. Instead, you approach challenges with a sense of belief and confidence in the outcome. Having a clear vision for your life is important for changing your beliefs and achieving your goals. This mindset also has a magnetic effect. People are naturally drawn to those who carry a sense of positive expectation. When you expect good things to happen, you exude a sense of optimism that others find inspiring. This positivity can influence the way others interact with you, and in many cases, it can open doors and create opportunities you might not have had otherwise. Others are more likely to support you, collaborate with you, and help you achieve your goals when they sense your belief in your success. Moreover, positive expectation fosters an environment where solutions and opportunities naturally emerge. When you expect success, your mind is more focused on finding ways to make it happen. You start to notice solutions that others might overlook. You become more open to new ideas, more willing to try new approaches, and more adaptable when faced with obstacles. Positive expectation shifts your attention away from problems and towards solutions. You stop wasting time and energy on self-doubt, and you channel that energy into the actions that will move you forward. This is why setting clear goals and having a vision for your future is so important. Without a clear vision, it's easy to become bogged down by uncertainty and fear. But when you set your sights on something specific, and when you hold a positive expectation that you will reach it, you give yourself a target to aim for. That target provides you with direction and clarity, which in turn fuels your positive actions. It's easier to move forward with confidence when you know where you're going. One of the most powerful aspects of positive expectation is that it helps to build resilience. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and we all face setbacks along the way. But when you have a positive expectation, setbacks don't become failures. They become learning opportunities. You don't give up when things get tough. Instead, you dig deeper, adjust your approach, and keep moving forward. The belief that things will eventually work out, combined with a willingness to take consistent action, creates a powerful momentum that propels you toward your goals. The opposite is true when you expect the worst. If you approach your goals with a sense of dread or fear, you are less likely to take the necessary actions to reach them. When you don't believe that success is possible, you'll find all kinds of reasons not to take the next step. You'll procrastinate, hesitate, and avoid making the decisions that could move you forward. Fear becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because the more you fear failure, the less likely you are to take the steps that could lead to success. Positive expectation also impacts your interactions with others. People gravitate toward those who radiate confidence and optimism. When you expect good things, you bring positive energy into every conversation and every interaction. This energy is contagious. It inspires others to think positively and take action themselves. Think about how you feel when you encounter someone who believes in their own success and is excited about the future. Their enthusiasm is magnetic, and it makes you want to be around them. You start to believe that good things are possible, and that belief spreads to everyone they interact with. In this way, positive expectation not only influences your own behavior, but also influences the behavior of others, creating a ripple effect of action, confidence, and success. Of course, positive expectation doesn't mean that you should ignore reality or fail to plan for challenges. It doesn't mean that everything will always go according to plan. What it does mean is that you approach life with the belief that no matter what happens, you have the ability to handle it and turn it into an opportunity. Positive expectation is the foundation upon which resilience, resourcefulness, and success are built. It's the belief that no matter the obstacles you face, there's always a way forward if you're willing to take action. The power of positive expectation is in its ability to propel you forward, to inspire action, and to keep you focused on the solutions instead of the problems. It aligns your thoughts, behaviors, and energy with the goals you wish to achieve, and it draws opportunities and support into your life. Positive expectation isn't about being unrealistic. It's about being proactive, optimistic, and persistent. When you expect good things, you create the conditions for good things to happen. So the next time you embark on a new project or set a new goal, ask yourself, what would it look like if I expected this to succeed? Let that expectation fuel your actions and watch how the world starts to shift in your favor. A positive expectation drives action, and action drives success. The power of resilience cannot be overstated. In life, things don't always go as planned. We all face unexpected setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. However, what truly separates those who achieve greatness from those who don't is not the absence of challenges, but the ability to bounce back, to persist, and to continue moving forward despite the difficulties we encounter. Resilience is the secret weapon that allows us to overcome adversity, to turn setbacks into comebacks, and to keep pushing toward our goals, even when the road seems impassable. The belief that everything is working in your favor helps to build this resilience, because when you expect life to unfold in a way that benefits your growth, you develop the strength to weather any storm. When you face adversity, it's easy to get discouraged, especially when things don't seem to go your way. The natural human instinct is often to retreat, to protect ourselves from further pain, and to avoid taking risks. But resilient individuals do the opposite. They lean into the discomfort, knowing that growth doesn't come from the easy path. They embrace the challenge and see it as an opportunity to strengthen their emotional and mental muscles. Resilience isn't just about being tough or enduring difficulty. It's about being able to adapt, to learn, and to grow stronger through each trial. Take the example of J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before becoming one of the most successful authors of all time, Rowling faced numerous setbacks. She was a single mother living on welfare, struggling with depression, and receiving rejection after rejection from publishers who didn't believe in her book. In fact, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was rejected by 12 publishers before it was finally accepted. Imagine if Rowling had given up after the first rejection, or after the 5th, or after the 10th. The world would have never known the magic of Harry Potter. But Rowling didn't let adversity define her. She used it as fuel to keep going. Her resilience and her belief in her story allowed her to turn repeated rejections into a victory that would change her life and the world forever. Resilience is not about never experiencing failure or hardship. In fact, the very essence of resilience lies in the ability to recover and learn from those experiences. Life is full of uncertainty, and it is impossible to predict every obstacle we will encounter. But resilience enables us to deal with those obstacles in a constructive way. It helps us keep our eyes on the bigger picture, to understand that temporary setbacks are just that, temporary. Maybe by viewing each challenge as a stepping stone rather than an insurmountable wall, we train ourselves to see failure as a part of the journey, not as a permanent condition. Think about Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history. He is often quoted as saying, "I have not failed, I've just found 1,0,0,0,0 ways that won't work." Edison's resilience is legendary. Each time one of his experiments failed, he didn't view it as a reason to give up. Instead, he viewed it as a learning opportunity, as a step closer to finding the right solution. Edison's ability to persist through failure was a major factor in his ultimate success. He didn't let temporary failures derail him. He remained focused on his vision, knowing that each setback was a chance to improve, refine, and move closer to the goal. Resilience also has a direct impact on your emotional health. When you believe that everything is working in your favor, you are able to maintain a sense of hope and optimism, even in difficult times. This positive outlook provides the mental fortitude you need to stay calm under pressure, to think critically, and to take decisive action when the situation demands it. Resilient individuals understand that emotions like fear, frustration, and disappointment are a natural part of life. They don't suppress or ignore these emotions, but instead they acknowledge them and choose not to let them control their actions. They understand that emotions are temporary, but their actions define the outcomes. In this way, resilience is built through a combination of mental strength and emotional intelligence. It requires the ability to manage your inner dialogue, to stay focused on solutions, and to avoid being swept away by negative emotions. People who are resilient don't let failures or setbacks define their self-worth. They maintain an internal belief that no matter what happens externally, they have the capacity to rise above it and find a way forward. People let go of the toxic load faster. They clear their minds more rapidly. One of the key elements of resilience is the ability to reframe negative experiences. When something doesn't go as planned, resilient individuals don't focus on the injustice or the disappointment. Instead, they ask themselves, what can I learn from this? They search for the lesson in the situation, understanding that every setback has the potential to teach them something valuable. The choices are what prepares us for enlightenment. Reframing adversity in this way helps to shift the focus away from the negative and onto the possibilities for growth. It's about taking ownership of your experiences and using them as building blocks for future success. Consider the life of Oprah Winfrey. She faced numerous hardships growing up, including poverty, abuse, and discrimination. Yet she never allowed her past circumstances to define her future. Oprah is known for her resilience and her ability to turn her difficult experiences into fuel for her success. Instead of letting the challenges she faced break her, she used them to empower herself and others. She reframed her pain as a source of strength, knowing that her life's purpose was to inspire and uplift others. Oprah's story is a testament to the power of resilience and the belief that everything is working in your favor, even when it feels like life is against you. Resilience is also closely tied to self-belief. When you have a deep sense of trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way, you are more likely to persevere through tough times. This self-confidence doesn't come from a place of arrogance, but from a place of understanding that you are capable of learning, adapting, and growing through any challenge. Resilience is not about being immune to failure. It's about knowing that no matter how many times you stumble, you have the strength to rise again, stronger and more determined than before. In conclusion, resilience is a powerful force that helps you navigate life's ups and downs with grace and determination. It's about maintaining a positive outlook, reframing challenges as opportunities for growth, and trusting in your ability to adapt and overcome. When you believe that everything is working in your favor, you develop the mental and emotional strength needed to face any adversity with confidence and perseverance. Resilience is not just about surviving, it's about thriving, no matter what life throws your way. Taking inspired action is the key to turning dreams into reality. It's not enough to simply set goals or have a vision. Without action, all the dreams and intentions in the world are just ideas. When we talk about acting as if everything is working in your favor, it's about taking consistent, focused steps toward your goals, even when the path isn't perfectly clear or when challenges arise. The belief that things are working in your favor doesn't mean that everything will come easily, but it encourages you to trust the process and keep moving forward, knowing that your efforts will eventually bear fruit. Taking inspired action is about moving with purpose, staying committed, and allowing your actions to align with the belief that success is inevitable. The first key to taking inspired action is setting clear intentions. Without a clear purpose or goal, it becomes difficult to take effective action. Setting intentions provides you with direction and focus, and it turns abstract desires into concrete outcomes. This is the starting point. The more specific your intentions are, the more focused and determined your actions can be. This also ties into the idea of having a vision for your life. A clear picture of where you want to go and what you want to achieve. When you have a vision, every action you take aligns with that larger picture. Each small step becomes a building block for the greater goal, and you know that every effort you put forth is a step in the right direction. Once you have set clear intentions, the next step is to break down your goals into smaller, manageable tasks. It's often in the smallest actions that momentum is built. If you have a large goal, like writing a book, for example, you don't have to write the entire manuscript in one sitting. You can take small increments and enjoy the process, like having a glass of wine with your dinner. You don't have to write the entire manuscript in one sitting. You can celebrate small accomplishments along the way. It's all about progress and improvement in school. Instead, you start by writing a paragraph, then a page, and then another page. Over time, those small actions will compound and add up to the achievement of the goal. Inspired action is about trusting that each step you take matters, even if the immediate results are not yet visible. And so, you commit to moderating your expectations. This change will matter to the future. Inspired action. The key to staying consistent with your actions is maintaining a sense of belief in the process. Inspired action isn't about doing things out of obligation or desperation. It's about doing them with purpose, with passion, and with the conviction that everything you're doing is bringing you closer to your goal. This sense of belief is rooted in the idea that everything is working in your favor. When you believe this, even the obstacles you face will seem like part of the process. Every challenge you encounter is just another opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. This mindset encourages you to keep going when things get tough, knowing that each setback is just a detour, not the end of the road. Another important aspect of taking inspired action is being willing to step outside your comfort zone. It's easy to take action when things feel comfortable, when you're not stretching yourself or taking risks. But real growth happens when you push yourself beyond your limits. Inspired action often requires courage. The courage to try something new, to take risks, and to step into the unknown. When you are aligned with the belief that everything is working in your favor, taking risks feels less daunting. You trust that the universe is supporting you, even when you can't see the full picture. You know that the steps you're taking are leading you towards something greater, and that belief in the journey allows you to step forward with confidence. Action also involves persistence. There will be days when things don't seem to go your way, when progress feels slow, or when you question whether it's worth it. But resilience in the face of difficulty is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up. Taking inspired action requires you to keep moving forward, even on the days when you're not seeing immediate results. It's important to understand that success is not always linear. There will be ups and downs, but each day that you take action, no matter how small, you are building momentum. Persistence is about continuing to take steps, even when the road is difficult or unclear. It's about believing that your efforts are moving you toward your desired outcome, even if it doesn't always feel that way in the moment. Taking inspired action also means being adaptable. The world is constantly changing and things don't always go according to plan. Sometimes the actions you take might not yield the results you expect. When that happens, it's essential to remain flexible and open to new ways of doing things. Adaptability is a key component of inspired action because it allows you to pivot when necessary and adjust your course without losing sight of your ultimate goal. When you believe that everything is working in your favor, you can view these detours as part of the process rather than obstacles. They are simply new opportunities for growth and learning. Inspired action involves staying open to new possibilities and adjusting your strategy when the situation calls for it. One of the most significant aspects of taking inspired action is the connection it has to your own sense of purpose. When you are aligned with your purpose, taking action feels more natural and fulfilling. Your purpose gives you the drive and the motivation to keep moving forward, even when things get difficult. It's important to remember that taking inspired action isn't about doing things just to achieve a particular result. It's about taking action that is in alignment with your values, passions, and purpose. When your actions are driven by a sense of purpose, they don't feel like work. They feel like fulfillment. This alignment is crucial because it ensures that you are not just moving toward a goal for the sake of achieving it, but that the process itself brings you joy and satisfaction. Lastly, taking inspired action requires trust in the timing of your life. It's easy to become impatient or frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as we want them to. But when you believe that everything is working in your favor, you also believe that the timing of your success will unfold in the perfect way. Trusting the timing of your journey allows you to remain patient and focused on what you can control, while letting go of the need to force things to happen. The universe, or whatever higher power you believe in, has its own rhythm. And sometimes things need to unfold in a certain order to bring about the best possible result. In conclusion, taking inspired action is a combination of clarity, belief, persistence, adaptability, purpose, and trust. It's about moving forward with purpose even when the path isn't clear, knowing that each step is bringing you closer to your goal. When you believe that everything is working in your favor, you are more likely to take consistent, inspired actions that align with your vision. These actions, no matter how small they may seem at the time, build momentum and ultimately lead to the manifestation of your dreams.